Hey everyone, today is Q&A number 7 for the month of July. These are going well, so I'm going to keep doing them. Couple of things. First off, anyone who is new to my channel seeing this video, welcome. Hopefully you stick around. Also, I have a hodgepodge of different types of things that I do on my channel. Video-wise, content-wise, whatever you want to call it. I don't pigeonhole myself. I do what the hell I want, and I enjoy it. I show a lot of my hobbies, all the stuff I'm involved with in the music industry and all that, as well as various tactical things and stuff relating to my profession and my prior profession. Yeah, whole range of different things, so hopefully you stick around. So, that aside, let us start with the questions. I got quite a few this time, so we're going to get through them here. So thank you everyone for the questions. Just starting in order. To start from Bonner Tom 032, Tom Bonner. Appreciate you being around. Your question. Hey brother, thanks for all the great content. No problem. Thank you for watching and enjoying it and appreciating it. In your Battle Belt video, you mentioned that you prefer G-Code over Safariland holsters. Why is that? Also, do you still feel that Battle Belts lack any practical field applications beyond range training and LARPing? Stay safe, metal up. Thanks, Tom. So, first off, with G-Code, I've just used them for a long time, professionally. G-Code has been around longer, I believe longer than Safariland, but I first got the experience with G-Code holsters. Some of the special operations guys, when I was in the Army, some of the Spec Ops guys that were in and out of our FOBs and stuff, they were running G-Code holsters, and I was like, those are really nice. I want them. And then started contracting and was using a G-Code holster. That's just what I've used. They're U.S. made. All materials are U.S. made. Made in North Carolina, quality product. I've never had issues with them, and I use tactical drop-like holsters as well as for conceal carry inside the waistband holsters is all G-Code. Again, super comfortable and never had any functional issues with them at all. They're bomb-proof. Safariland, nothing wrong with Safariland. I have used those two on and off over the years. I believe, though, that they have started outsourcing their manufacturing outside the country. That was one of the big issues, and also I did run into some function problems with Safariland holsters with heavy use, and we're talking heavy use. As of several law enforcement buddies who have had issues with those holsters breaking on them as well. So that's why I stick to G-Code. Yeah, hopefully that answers that. Second part of that, about battle belts. So battle belts, duty belts, it's a duty belt, you know. That's what it is. It's just configured slightly differently in a military or private citizen configuration, or for competition shooting configuration, than for law enforcement. It's the same thing though. It's literally the same stuff. It does have applicability, but, and I said this in the issue with battle belts or duty belts, whatever you want to call them, you need to use a suspender, a harness or suspender system with it to get some of that weight off of your hips, and that affects your lower back, so that it's better distributed through the entire load carrying carriage of your body. And that's the same with all of your other equipment. So load bearing equipment, LBEs, are optimal apart from chest rigs. Plate carriers, obviously, different kind of load carriage system because you have the armor in there and everything, but you know, you can use them in tandem, you know, plate carrier or chest rig with a duty belt or battle belt, but you should use a suspender system with it for better stability, because when you start moving around and that's shifting around, that sucks, and wearing them for a long period of time is not comfortable. I had severe pain in my hips for a while after the last contract that I worked, where I was wearing a duty belt every day. So yeah, that's why. they have practical application, but you need to take proactive measures to take care of your body when wearing all of this equipment, especially for long periods of time, and constant periods. That's why. So yeah, hopefully that answers those questions. Thank you. Appreciate it. Let's see. Next question from One Round Left. Brother, you always have great questions. I appreciate you. Thank you very much. You don't think you've seen this question before. What is my opinion on the adoption of the M7 or the Sig Spear? You've never shot one and have only seen YouTubers have a generally negative opinion of it. So, yeah, we'll get into the weeds a little bit here. So, while I like that it's a piston-driven platform, because I prefer piston-driven platforms over direct impingement for several reasons, I don't like the M7 rifle for a couple of reasons. So first off is the cartridge, the 6.8x51. Why not just use 7.62x51 NATO? You know? That doesn't make sense, because standard 277 Fury or 6.8x51, the standard 277 Fury round actually performs marginally worse than 308, which is 7.62x51 NATO. Just different coding designations, maybe slightly different pressures, but same cartridge otherwise. Same cartridge. So why would you have a worse performing round than the round that you're already using in support weapons, which they're going to be, I guess, changing as well with the 240 Bravo and stuff. They're going to be changing it to another caliber, I think 300 Norma Magnum, which is a hell of a slapping round, because that's a bigger round, which is cool. But 7.62x51 NATO or 308 Winchester is still completely applicable, and there's no reason to use a boutique, brand new or boutique cartridge for the military. The only reason that the 6.8x51 is a better performing round than 7.62x51 NATO is those special combat hybrid cartridges that are high pressure. They're like 80,000 psi, where most standard rounds are somewhere in the 50 to 60,000 psi range. So it's like 80,000 or more psi in those hybrid cartridges that they're making just for combat application for the M7 rifle, which is, I think that's silly, especially when you need to make a special round that costs more instead of using a proven round that works and at range works and has proven to work far more than 5.56. So that didn't make sense to me. Also, it changes round capacity. You know, I think those magazines are what, 25 rounds, maybe 28 rounds or something like that for the M7 rifle now. Also, the M7 rifle is significantly heavier. Even if you say gave your boy an AR-10s or even a modernized FAL rifle with some accoutrements and everything, optic and stuff on it, it would still weigh less than the M7 rifle with all of it on it, with all the stuff on it. The other issue is the shorter barrel. They're putting like a 13.5 inch barrel on the M7 with that integral suppressor. I mean, the suppressor's cool, but a 13.5 barrel, what are you doing with the short barrel? Like, if you're making a combat rifle, you should be making a 16 inch barrel or longer. There's no reason to go below that for combat application, especially as we saw in Afghanistan and what we're seeing in other places, to include Ukraine and stuff. A longer barrel with that added, with that maximum performance of the round for velocity and everything else, that just makes more sense. So some of the design quirks and some of the things that they decided with this rifle just don't make sense. It's heavier. Austere conditions, function tests were kind of all over the place, so whatever. Barrel length is stupid, the cartridge is stupid. Especially when we already have some very tried and true stuff that works very, very well at taking out bad guys. So those are some of my opinions on it. I don't think it was the right move. I think there were much more practical applications already on the market, options already on the market that we could have even taken off the shelf, like what we have been, that would have worked just fine for our needs. So those are my thoughts about it. I would like to get my hands on one to shoot. That would be really cool. I've shot the new pistol, and there's some issues with that too. But I mean, it's a nice pistol. It's fun to shoot. But I would like to get my hands on that rifle with the combat cartridges because I want to see what that does. Yeah. But those are my thoughts on it. I'm an FAL fanboy, so Modernize the FAL. Good to go. Right. Thanks for the question, brother. Okay, next question. Fatty West Side. Thanks, bud. Always appreciate you, man. It's 100 days into the end of the world as we know it. You're up for a 24-hour patrol. What rifle/loadout are you taking and why? Oh, it's a 24-hour patrol. You always pack a little bit more than what you expect, namely for food, water, and just having spare changes of socks and things like that, and ammunition. Otherwise, just standard equipment, 24 hours. That means you're going to be hitting nighttime, so you're going to need your nods and spare batteries for that if you're running nods and stuff and not bedding down for the night somewhere and trying to hide away. Take a poncho or a satellite tarp that packs down small. Things like that. Basic things like that. I mean, you don't really need too much because you're not going to be gone for that long. You're not going to need a sleep system and stuff. If you're going to sleep, you just lay in a depression in the ground or against a tree or something, and you're taking turns, keeping watch, if you're not continuing that patrol through the night. Just so things like that. Loadout, either it would be either an LBE or a chest rig, and then it depends. I could run any of my primary rifle choices, so either a short stroke piston AR, an AK type platform rifle, or an FAL, a battle rifle. Any one of those is going to work fine. Doesn't really matter, and that's understanding manual of arms for different weapons platforms, so you can just grab whatever and you'd be able to use it. It's kind of an important skill to have for people. So just any of those, diversity is the spice of life when it comes to choosing the boomstick for the job. Any of them are going to work. It depends on where we're patrolling. That's going to factor a little bit to what weapon I choose. But other than that, I mean, it's pretty general and basic stuff, right? Just common sense stuff for everyone. So, good question, though. I mean, it's common sense now. So, appreciate the question, man. Grunt Proof. Randall, brother, appreciate the question once again. You said, if I make another band, will you play guitar? Hell yeah, I will. Absolutely. We've talked in email since then. I know you said it was kind of a joke, but honestly, it's easy enough to make a band nowadays, long distance, and I do it with other bands that are relatively successful. So it's not hard to do. Send tracks back and forth and, get the work done. So if in the future you would like to start a band when you have the time, I know that's difficult for me too, but if and or when you have the time and you want to start a project, I'm down. Same with you, Wired Tight. I know I saw you in the comments too with that. So, yeah, bro. I'm always down for that. Jam on. Metal up. Thanks for the question. Let's see. Next one. George Washington, I think it is. GW01, George Washington. Always appreciate you being around. You're good people. Thank you. Your question. If someone had the means to build such a technical, for the meme, so technical pickup truck with a machine gun or something else mounted in the back, what is the best equivalent that can be had domestically? Well, I mean, depends on your licensing and permitting you have, in a matter of speaking. If you have all that in an SOT or whatever, and you can get a SAW or a 240 Bravo or PKM, do it up, dude. Do it up. If not that situation, or if it is something a little more dire, where you're having to do ad hoc configurations with battlefield acquired or tactically acquired items, go for it. That's what you're going to need to do in order to, keep up the fight and other things. So, freaking whatever, man. I mean, the best equivalent, vehicle-wise, pickup truck. So we can't get Hiluxes here, so Toyota Tacoma. Or maybe the Chevy Colorado pickup. Both relatively similar. Tacoma's first pick, though. Toyota's just reliable. You know that. Otherwise, SUV types like 4Runners, Land Cruisers, Land Rovers, those kinds of vehicles, like optimal technical vehicles, like all those. Yeah, definitely. So, thanks for your question. I appreciate you as always. Next question. Wired Tight. Thanks for your first question in this whole thing, and it's been great talking to you too. So let's get that music project going. Your question. Ooh. What's your first gunfight like? All 5 senses. Okay. Getting a little deep on this one. Okay. Let me just check, make sure I didn't miss any other questions. I got one more after this. I'm just also kind of thinking a little bit here. It's been a while. First gunfight. Excuse me. It kicked off relatively early into what we were doing. And, like, instantly, you know, all of a sudden, incoming fire, you're getting the zips, the snaps, the whizzes, stuff's, you know, impacting, just that impact sound of rounds hitting, like, concrete behind you and stuff. So sensory-wise, you're hearing all this, and you kind of, it's not like electricity. Well, I guess it kind of is, because bioelectricity and stuff, but, like, with the adrenaline and everything, like, that electricity hits, like, and, like, you know, the hair on the back of your neck can stand up a little bit, and just all of a sudden you're like, and your senses just, it almost becomes like animalistic. I mean, you're resorting to a lot of muscle memory from repetitive training and things like that too. But like it's almost like animal senses kick in too. I wouldn't necessarily say fight, flight, freeze, and fawn, although that is implied in that, you know, but just instantly you're kicking into that mode, like it's go time kind of thing. I remember I had to pee really bad, and when you're in a fight like that, and it's the same in military training too, you know, when you're in a fight like that, like I just pee my pants. Fuck it, you can't really move in that situation. You're posted up and doing what you need to do. Another one of my guys also peed himself because we had to piss really bad. But like, yeah, getting up to the rooftop and posting up, and you're trying to get PID, positive ID, on where the fire is coming from and everything. And again, your senses are it's just heightened. You know, there's electricity in the air, as people have said, you know, and you're just posting up, and you're starting to get rounds off, suppressing, trying to, you know, in the direction where you figure out where that fire is coming from, or you're seeing off in the distance, you know, could be 1 block, could be 6 blocks down that street, you know, whatever, darting back and forth, or popping out of windows, or, you know, second floor balconies, and, you know, things like that. You know, that's the thing about urban warfare. Literally everywhere is somewhere that you can be attacked from. Every rooftop, every doorway, every alleyway, every window, every vehicle, every drain gutter on the road, anywhere, you know, any mosque, anything. So, you know, it is a 360 air of chaos and trying to figure out what's going on. And especially in an urban environment, because of the reverberation off of all the buildings and stuff, it's very hard to pinpoint where fire is coming from unless you can see in some way where it's coming from. You know, the insurgents and stuff, they use a lot of tracers and stuff too, so sometimes you could see those. But also, like, you know, they're not great about using cover and concealment in their maneuver. Like, some are more well trained than others. So, you know, but you see them pop out, and it's on. The fight is on. You know, hey, target 250 meters out. You know, right side of the street, alleyway by the busted up white Mercedes, whatever it is, you know. But you're just amped, and that adrenaline is going, and you're resorting to your muscle memory, and your animal instincts are kicking in. And with adrenaline, you can get that little metallic taste in your mouth a little bit too. And then when you come down from adrenaline afterwards, you can get nauseous. Like sometimes I did, you know. A lot of guys did, but like you get used to it, you know. It just, after a while, it's just normal, you know. And your cortisol levels are all crazy and stuff too, and all that. And there's a lot going on. There's a lot going on with that stuff when that happens. So, you know, it's crazy, because it's like a switch just flips, and all of a sudden your brain is tapping into these things that it normally doesn't or never has before, really. You know, because training is one thing, and you get some of that in training, but it's nothing compared to what actually happens in a gunfight. And that first gunfight, God, that went on and off for 14 hours. So we were stuck there, you know, dealing with that, you know, because it wasn't just one dude or whatever. Like, it was a bad fight. And a lot of fights after that were like that too. Yeah. So I guess hopefully that explains some of it in some of those senses, but like, yeah, just everything gets heightened, and it's a different kind of focus and instinct and processing that kicks in and everything, and you know, between that and muscle memory, you know, it's very unique. I'll put it that way. There's nothing like it. So hopefully that answers that question. Thanks, brother. All right, to round it off, Church of DVD, douchebag's brother Dick. I appreciate the hell out of you, brother. You're a wise man. Have another beer for me. Maybe a dumb question, he says. I don't know if there's such thing as a dumb question. There's definitely dumb answers sometimes. If being a gray man is so important to the flannel people, then why are they still bragging about their expensive rifles that they can't conceal in their pockets? There's a lot to unpack with that, you know. And for the record, a lot of people just wear flannel up here anyway. So it's just, regionally, that's just what we do up here, you know. But I think I know who you're referring to with that, so. Yeah, it's gray man. I don't like gray man. I don't like that term. Low profile or covert. Those are the two terms that have been used universally longer than the gray man thing. Low profile work has different requirements than what would be a combat application, even in somewhat unconventional warfare application, whether it is guerrilla or special operations or whatever. And you know that. I don't know what their rationale and mentality is about bragging about expensive stuff. I think the most expensive rifle I own is my FAL. So, and that's a bone stock DS Arms FAL, which fantastic rifle. I know you appreciate the 308 battle rifle as well. So, thanks, brother. You're in good company. That they can't conceal in their pockets. I mean, yeah, I don't know, because they have a different mindset about things. They have a different rationale or expectation, maybe apart from reality, maybe part of their reality with what they're expecting to happen and using that equipment. Maybe, I don't know. Let me check the camera real quick. Maybe that's part of it. I don't know. You know, it's I'm not a mind reader, sadly. I think if I was, I'd be a very rich man. So, yeah, I don't know with some of these people, you know. I mean, everyone likes nice things from time to time. Camera decided to shut off on me. Great. Everyone likes nice things from time to time, right? You know, whether it's a nice steak dinner or a nice firearm that's reliable, you know, because some nice firearms aren't even that fucking reliable or practical. But, yeah, I don't know. You know, my rationale, and really always has been, is KISS. Keep it simple, stupid. You know? I know you're like that too. You know, so, I don't know. You just, maybe it's a vanity thing, or clout, whatever the fuck people say now. You know, maybe it's that, maybe it's product shilling. I don't know. Any product that I show on my channel, and I know you're like that too, any product that I show on my channel is a product that I actively use, that I buy with my own money. I really don't want to get into that whole reviewing products that people send me just to review products for marketing. I'm not about that. I want to research the product and I want to test it myself to know that it's something that I can trust, that I can rely on. That might be part of it for them. I don't know. You know, I really don't know with those people. So it's hard to tell, man. It could be a million different reasons, or just product shilling, whatever it is, for them with that. You know, again, I'm very much, you know, keep it simple. You know, if it works, it works. It needs to be reliable when it matters. You know, and there's a lot of these fancy little toys and things like that you really don't need in a practical combat situation. You just need a good, reliable weapon that meets your criteria for the environment that you're operating in, and is going to be reliable when it matters. So I guess that's really the thing about it. So I can't. I don't know if that was a stupid answer for you, but yeah, I don't know, because I can't read their minds. But they're gonna do what they're gonna do, you know. You and I and many other people try not to get too much into the echo chamber or that realm of things so much, you know. You got to stay realistic about things, because there's just a lot of not great stuff out there that people advertise or whatever, and yeah, not about it. So just depends. It just depends. So yeah, that's my answer for that. hopefully that answered your question. Not a dumb question. Maybe not a clear-cut answer either. So thanks, brother. I appreciate you. That, I think, was it for... Yeah, that was it for... There's only a couple other comments, no questions. Too many choices. 240 Bravo for the win. 240 Bravo's sick. I do like the PKM more, only because it's lighter, but both open bolt systems. Fucking love them both. Great for technicals, based on the meme. John Doe said he wants the technical in the meme. Don't we all? We all do. Life goals, right? Life goals. Yeah, that's it. That's it for Q&A round number 7 for the month of July. Thank you, everyone, again for all of your great questions. I appreciate them. I appreciate all of you. And anyone new, again, welcome. Thanks for stopping in. Next month, at the beginning of the month, usually the first working day of the month, Q&A post will go up in the community tab, or in the community tab of my channel. It should show up if you subscribe and follow my channel on your YouTube home landing page, in the community post section that they have now. If not, just check in back to my channel every once in a while. Okay. I usually leave the Q&A posts up for about a week and a half, somewhere in there, to give it time for questions to come in. And then I answer those questions, and then that post gets deleted until the next month. So if you miss this month, that is okay. Just look out at the beginning of next month for August for a post to come up, usually, again, the first working day of the month. And, yeah. Ask your questions there then when that comes up in the comments, and I will answer them for the next video. So thanks again to everyone for tuning in and asking great questions as always. So metal up.